let's turn our attention to the hard court. The Warriors
Breaking news,
get.
breaking news, breaking news.
Oh, you have breaking news, huh?
Dubs have officially opened the trade window for Andrew Wiggins. He is on the docket to move as
He's on the
immediately,
block.
as soon as possible to open the way for Kaminga for more minutes for him.
Yeah, I think that's the move that needs to happen.
Yep.
We'll see who's willing to buy Andrew Wiggins. It's a hell of a contract that they have to move. But they found a way to move plenty of
Cool.
other guys in the past. So Jordan Poole specifically. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. The Warriors get the win against Orlando, and then they lose versus Denver. They get the win against Detroit, and then they lose against Toronto. So that's 2-2 over the
They
last
lost
week.
terribly against Toronto,
Yeah,
like
that
73
Toronto game
points in
was
the half.
that's
Well,
that
they
Toronto
lost
game
that
was
game in the
heinous.
first 5 minutes.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
really did. It was like I watched the
I
playback.
shut it off. I was like, fuck
Uh,
this.
Last night I watched the playback of that game. Just like the highlights that are on YouTube TV. Watch key plays or whatever. And all but two of them were plays for Toronto. I was like, is this a Toronto highlight or a Warriors highlight? Good
Right.
grief.
So
It was bad.
I know we're gonna talk about Draymond here, and go ahead, and I'll do my 2 cents in here.
Okay. So Draymond Green has officially been reinstated after 12-game suspension. He said on his podcast that he almost retired, but Adam Silver talked him out of it.
I
It was
kind
a
of
ra-
wish he did.
He called it a rash decision, and I'm not going to let you do that, is what Draymond reportedly said.
Well,
So-
Adam Silver told him I'm not gonna do it, but I kind of wish he did. And the reason why I say that is because you know what I get when I watch Moody and I watch Kaminga and I watch Pazinski and I watch TJD. I'm getting the feels of that early Warriors team with Clay and Steph and Dre and
The
Bogut.
2011, 2012, 2013.
Yeah, like it's a
2013.
young squad that is balling out, and watch out for them the next couple of years. And I think if they can keep Moody and they can keep Kaminga, obviously they're keeping Pazinski, obviously they're keeping TJD, in this trade deadline. But those guys, like that's a starting core. You're missing one piece, but I mean, fill it in with a veteran at this point. But that's a starting core. That's an Orlando Magic squad. That's an Atlanta Hawks squad. That's a Knicks squad. Well, actually, Knicks have been playing pretty good, but typically it's a Knicks squad.
Right.
So-
Daniel in the chat says we need a winger. Speaking of the Lakers, yeah, I don't
Man,
know. Like
you have
it's
Rui
not gonna-
Hachimura. Shut up. Get out of here, Daniel. Get out of this squad. Get out of here. You have Rui Hachimura. You pay all this money for Anthony Davis, who gets hurt. needs a
LeBron ain't
Band-Aid.
happy, bro.
LeBron just
LeBron wants a new
posterized.
team.
LeBron just posterized Paul George last night. Get out of here. Relax. chill
LeBron
out.
said he's going to draft Bronny.
All I'm
wants
saying is
Bronny
that
on
when
his
I'm watching
team.
this Warrior squad, this young squad looks like a 2011 squad of like, yeah, they're probably going to lose a lot of close games, and they should lose a lot of close games because they're a young team that doesn't know how to close out, right?
I
But-
hope the Warriors draft Bronny.
But my
LeBron
point
needs
is
to be
that-
traded.
my point
LeBron
being is that-
for Andrew Wiggins.
No, my point being is that like if you get this young squad and you actually start building around these, and like let's say Draymond moves on, we would trade him out. Clay goes and signs with another team, say the Lakers, for instance, or something like that next year because he can't get the contract with the Warriors. I mean, Steph with that crew, and then you start getting some veterans into it. I think you're rebuilding something worthwhile.
Well, it's also too just getting the money off the books, right? A
Yeah.
couple years down the road, you get rid of these expired. Because if you're wheeling and dealing, and who you're bringing in, you're probably bringing in some contracts that aren't healthy for you as a franchise. But hopefully, you're getting an expiring in a year or within 2 years, or maybe
Chris
you're able to
Pauls.
move those contracts. Exactly, you're wheeling and dealing. But you get some financial relief, and you're able to add some guys in the future. Then hopefully these young guys, you hit on them, Kaminga, Pods, Moody, they get more time, and they're actually starting and contributing. Right now, it just seems like they don't have an identity. Going back to Draymond, this is how I could see the conversation going: is Adam Silver going, "We're not happy with the antics on the court," and then Draymond going, "Well, you know what? It's too much for me. I'm going to retire because I can't change who I am. And then Adam Silver going, that's crazy. You got like $88 million on the table. You got a lot of basketball left. And if you leave the NBA like this, your TNT deal is probably off the table. So you don't want to do that. Oh, okay. That's a good point, Adam Silver. Like, did he actually entertain retiring? Nah. I agree with you, Tyler. If he did, if I'm Mike Dunleavy and Joe Lacob, I'm probably like, I hope this motherfucker retired because then I could get that off my books and bring in somebody who's not going to cost me games. I think I did listen to the podcast later in the day, and I did listen to Draymond Green talking about help and what help meant when he was, 15 years old in Saginaw, Michigan, and what help means coming from the league and coming from his coach and coming from Adam Silver. And I thought there was actually some really good points that he made. I know I was texting you guys earlier, like, I was kind of poo-pooing Draymond's retirement stuff, and I still am. I don't really believe it in the scenario that he laid out, but I do respect how he talks about help and change, and that he and this resonated with me where people have offered me help in life, and I took it as an insult. I took it as like, I don't need your fucking help, right? And I think that's a limited view, and I had to go through some things to like understand when a friend or a family member or someone genuinely is offering their help and what that means. Like, that resonated with me because there's been times where friends have offered me help and I was insulted that somebody would talk to me that way. Now, at retrospect, at almost 40, like, how fortunate and how lucky I am to have friends and family and people who care about me and say like, hey, I want to help you. I had to go through a journey to understand that. And I just wanted to recognize that in Draymond's, in his personal life. However, with all of that, love, that greatness going on, I don't know if it's as easy as like turning it on and off like a switch, because now he's saying he doesn't need to play with the antics. He doesn't need to play with that edge. Well, if you didn't, why could you didn't turn that off?
Yeah, I think
4 years ago.
Like 2.5, 3 weeks is not enough. Whatever therapy sessions you want to say to go face your demons and be like, I could just be a different person. No, man,
Yeah,
it takes
I don't.
years. It takes a long time to be able to change your perspective about how you view things in life, if it means changing it for the better of your own life. So you're done doing things a certain way your whole life, and to change that in 3 weeks, it's not happening. So
My
I mean,
final thing about the situation is, I think the thing that could push him to truly change on the court and everything, is that I really believe that he realizes he's wearing out his welcome, not just in the NBA, but with like fans, and I know it may seem like fans don't matter, but I think when you start to see the social media and the locker room changing and now the NBA changing and your whole new media stuff changing, like, at this point, there's not a lot of people defending what Draymond Green did and has done. Those people are kind of on an island. Even the people that were defending all the way up to Rudy Gobert. And now it's just like those people are gone. And I think he's kind of reading the room, in mid-30s or whatever, early 30s, what he is, and saying, I need a change, because if I don't, my welcome is out of here.
yeah,
He's wearing out his welcome with the Warriors and possibly the league.
yeah, I agree.
Okay. So upcoming in the schedule, the Warriors play against the Pelicans on Wednesday. Friday they are at Chicago. Saturday they're at Milwaukee. Monday they're playing at Memphis, and that's a day game. And that's actually Martin Luther King Day as well. So the league is doing a big thing for that as well. So that's part of why the game is going to be happening at 11 a.m. or something like that. Yeah, so that kind of wraps up Warriors talk.